Hey everybody, welcome back to The Spot. My name's Adam Sayre, I'm the Director of Productions here at 143 TV, and I'm joined by The Spot's co-host.
Hi, it's Jennifer Dial. Thanks so much for tuning in today.
Alright, let's get into our July 7th episode, 2026. The annual Carnival in the Harbor returns to Cole Parkway in Scituate July 7th through the 11th. The Carnival, presented by the Scituate Knights of Columbus, will feature all your favorite rides, games, and treats.
And don't miss the fireworks display lighting up the sky Friday and Saturday night. The carnival is open from 7 to 11 p.m. with an early matinee opening at 3 p.m. on Saturday the 11th for extra family fun. Grab your favorite chair or a cozy blanket and head down to the Common on Thursday, July 9th for the Cohasset Recreation Summer Concert Series. Blue Cannon takes the stage at 6 p.m.
Learn more about a moving piece of local history at the next Cohasset Historical Society's Summer Maritime Lecture. On Thursday, July 9th at 6:30 p.m., head to Wilcott Commons to hear a fascinating presentation on the wreck of the brig St. John.
Speakers Mike Dick and Aidan Long will explore the tragic 1849 shipwreck and the compassion Cohasset showed to the survivors. Get ready to groove. On Friday, July 10th, mark your calendars for an evening of live music on Sandy Beach.
Our very own local band, Cold Start, will be back at the beach to perform from 5 p.m. until sunset. The Snack Shack will be open late for this special concert. And don't forget, a town parking sticker is required to park at the beach. Looking for a relaxing summer evening? Head down to Buttonwood Books and Toys on July 9th at 6:30 p.m. for their summer author event.
Enjoy light snacks and cool drinks while celebrating new titles from several acclaimed authors. Tickets are available on their website, buttonwoodbooksandtoys.com. We're continuing our Spot Summer History Series, celebrating the 250th anniversary of our country. Everyone knows the story of Paul Revere's historic ride, but what about the man who lit the lanterns in the Old North Church? After that fateful night, John Pulling became a hunted man.
Disguised as a fisherman, he fled Boston by boat, arriving on Nantasket Beach. According to local historians, along with his wife, Pulling found a secret refuge here, in an old cooper shop, on the Cohasset shore where the couple stayed until the last British troops evacuated Boston.
Hi, this is Jenna McCarthy from the Rec Department. You are listening to The Spot.
We're joined in the Spot studio today by Craig McClellan. He's running for the Norfolk County District Attorney. Thanks so much for joining us today, Craig.
Hi, Adam. Hi, Jen. Thanks for having me. Grateful to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about what made you decide to run for this office?
Sure. Well, I've always wanted to run for public office. I discovered my passion for public service in high school. I was having a pretty challenging time. I went from a small town middle school to a much larger city private school, all boys school. And my freshman year, I think one of my teachers saw that I was kind of having a tough time, and he sort of changed the trajectory of my life, probably inadvertently, by asking me if I had ever thought about joining Model United Nations, which is an extracurricular activity for students in high school. And I hadn't thought of it, and I joined, and it sort of exposed me to concepts of, global politics and diplomacy and service. And from there, I discovered that, I had some public speaking ability and a lot of interest in sort of serving the greater good, figuring out how I can contribute to my community. And from there, it led me to a path of other service positions like student government in college and law school. And it's why I applied to become an assistant DA right out of law school in Boston, and had some other state roles. But, more recently I've served, and I have served for 7 years on the Cohasset School Committee, which has been a labor of love. And that's a total volunteer position that allows me to have impact on our town school district. So I'm really running because I've, throughout my professional and academic and quasi-professional career, I have developed a skill set that I think will enable me to deliver an exceptional public service to the community for an office that is not enjoying the highest favorability right now.
What issues are facing the community here that you hope to help out with?
So I think the top priority for the incoming district attorney needs to be restoring public confidence in this office. Unfortunately, because of a few notable cases that have, I think, exposed certain failures in the process, the public's trust has eroded in the district attorney's office. And it's not all that fair There are certainly some very notable cases where there's a lot of public interest in these cases, and I don't need to mention them by name. I think people know, but those are just a few of the examples of some instances where there's a lot of room for improvement. There's also a lot of good work going on in the office as well that will serve as a foundation for the next DA to build upon. For example, in our own hometown, there was a horrific homicide, and the individual responsible for that crime was ultimately held accountable by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. There was also a former teacher in our public school system who had been accused of abusing middle school girls, and he was also ultimately held accountable for his actions by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. So I think it is unfair to develop overall perception or opinion of the office just based on a few of these notable cases. That said, there were serious failures in those cases, and we need to acknowledge them so that we can address them and we can course correct so that we can provide a much better service to the public moving forward. So I think the top priority, Adam, just to get back to your question, is to restore public trust and confidence in the office. And the way to do that is, honestly, the first step is to acknowledge the failures. Say, we did screw up here, and this is how we screwed up. And we're going to get out to the community and talk to you about the things we're proposing in order to rectify these problems and hear from you about your ideas and what you think we can do differently to improve. Because the whole point, this is a public office. The point of this office is to serve the community. It's not to provide one person with professional or, political career advancement. It's to serve each and every person that lives in this county and to provide the best public safety model that we possibly can.
So if voters want to find out more about you, how do they do that?
First of all, give me a call. My number is 617-750-0277. I will talk to you for as long as you want to talk about the DA's office. And that's probably the best way to get to know me, but other obvious way just to sort of get a general idea of my background and see, learn a little bit about the campaign is my website, craigmcclellan.com, CraigMcClellan.com. Email me at craig@craigmcclellan.com, and, happy to put you on the list. But, shoot me a text, give me a call. I'm running for a public local office, and I'm happy to talk to you.
Craig, thank you so much for stopping in today. We really appreciate you doing that and for speaking with us.
Of course, yeah. Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, everybody, that was our July 7th episode of The Spot. I'm Adam Sayre, the Director of Productions here at 143 TV.
And I'm Jennifer Dial. We hope you'll tune back in next Tuesday to The Spot, which is your spot for everything Cohasset. You can get The Spot sent straight to your email inbox every week, so you'll never miss an episode. Sign up online at cohassetthespot.com. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and 143tv.org.
Make sure to check the description below for links to all the stories we talked about today. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll catch you next time.